When people hear about Chinese pistols, they automatically assume cheap steel, sloppy tolerances, a knockoff that falls apart after a few hundred rounds. But that reputation doesn't hold up once you actually look at what Norinco has been building. From a modernized clone of the SIG P226 to a domestic sidearm that beats the failure rate of most Western-duty guns, these pistols have quietly earned respect in places most people never look. And that's the key phrase, places most people never look, because since 1993, Norinco handguns have been banned from import into the United States entirely, with ammunition following a year later. So while American gunmakers watch these pistols dominate markets in Europe and Canada, they've never actually had to compete against them at home. We're counting down 5 handguns that prove China's arms industry stopped playing catch-up a long time ago. Number 5. Norinco NP28. Let's start with a bit of irony. The 1911 is about as American as a gun can get. It's the design John Browning handed the U.S. military over a century ago, and it's still treated like a national symbol. So it's kind of funny that one of the most respected 1911 builds out there right now comes from China. The Norinco NP28 is a double-stack 1911 built for the 9mm cartridge. Right out of the box, it's not going to win any beauty contests. The factory grips feel cheap, and the trigger pull has a grittiness that serious shooters notice immediately. The finish tends to be dull, and the fit between the slide and the frame can rattle a little more than shooters expect from something that costs so little. But here's the part that surprised a lot of American custom gunsmiths. The steel Norinco uses to forge these frames is ordnance grade, and it's actually harder and higher quality than what a lot of mid-tier American 1911 makers were using. That matters more than it sounds like it should, because the 1911's long-term durability comes down almost entirely to how well the frame rails hold up over tens of thousands of cycles. Soft steel wears, loosens, and eventually starts spitting brass at weird angles. Hard steel just doesn't. That's not a small detail. For years, custom gunsmiths in the United States quietly bought up Norinco 1911 frames, stripped them down, and rebuilt them into high-end IPSC race guns. Think about that for a second. The base gun that professional competition shooters trusted their careers to came from a factory most people assumed only made cheap surplus rifles. The bones were that good. Gunsmiths could swap the sights, tune the trigger, polish the feed ramp, and end up with a competition pistol that cost a fraction of what a custom-built American 1911 runs, all because the starting foundation was already better than most people gave it credit for. Number 4. Norinco NP22. If you know anything about elite firearms, you know the name Sig Sauer. Their P226 is basically the gold standard for special forces around the world. Navy SEALs carried it. It's built a reputation as one of the most reliable service pistols ever made. The kind of gun that shows up in movies specifically because armorers know it looks and performs like the real deal. So when Norinco built the NP22 as a near-exact mechanical clone of that gun, people paid attention. The NP22 gives you the same aluminum alloy frame. It runs the same double-action, single-action system with a decocker. A lot of the internal parts are interchangeable with the real SIG, down to magazines and small components that most clones never bother matching. That level of parts compatibility is rare because it means Norinco wasn't just copying the outside shape, they were reverse engineering the actual internal geometry down to tight tolerances. And instead of paying over $1,000 for the genuine article, buyers in markets where it's legal can pick one up for around $300. That price difference alone has made it a favorite among shooters in countries where importing a real SIG comes with steep tariffs or licensing headaches. Now it's not a perfect twin, the finish isn't as refined, and the trigger reset doesn't have that buttery smoothness SIG is famous for. Some owners also note the slide-to-frame fit runs a touch looser out of the box, though it tightens up after a break-in period. But mechanically, you're getting elite-level reliability for the price most people spend on a budget range gun. That's a hard value proposition to argue with. Before we get into the top 3, if this kind of breakdown is your thing, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this list. Number 3. Norinco Type 54 Black Star. Now we're getting into pistols that actually earned fear on a battlefield, not just respect in a gun shop. The Type 54 is an improved version of the Soviet TT-33, and it saw heavy use during the Vietnam War. Soldiers on both sides knew exactly what this gun could do, and that reputation followed it into nearly every conflict across Southeast Asia and beyond for decades afterward. What made it dangerous wasn't just reliability. It's chambered for the 7.62x25 Tokarev round, a bottlenecked cartridge that moves at a hypervelocity most modern handgun rounds can't touch. We're talking about a round that can leave the barrel at speeds well over 1,600 feet per second, numbers that put it closer to some rifle rounds than a typical service pistol cartridge. That speed matters because this round can punch through heavy winter clothing and even soft body armor, something that standard 9mm rounds simply can't do consistently. Imagine facing an enemy whose sidearm can go through the same protective gear that's supposed to stop a pistol round. That's the reputation the Black Star built, a nickname that came from the star stamped into its grip panels. The design itself is stripped down and almost brutally simple, no manual safety in the traditional sense, minimal parts count, and a fixed barrel design that made it incredibly resistant to jamming even when it was dragged through mud, sand, and jungle humidity. That simplicity is exactly why it kept showing up in conflict after conflict, long after supposedly more advanced pistols would have failed. Decades later, the Type 54 is still one of the most widely spread and combat-proven handguns in history. It's not flashy and it's not modern, but it's a gun that proved itself in the worst conditions imaginable, and that kind of track record doesn't fade. Collectors and surplus buyers still hunt these down today, not for their looks, but because a gun that survived that many wars earns a certain kind of respect that no marketing campaign can manufacture. Number 2. Norinco NZ85B. Now here's one that flies under the radar even among people who follow Chinese firearms closely. The NZ85B is Norinco's take on the CZ75, a Czech pistol so well regarded that gunsmiths and competitive shooters across Europe consider it one of the smoothest shooting service pistols ever designed. The original CZ75 earned its reputation through a unique slide inside frame design, where the slide rides on rails cut into the inner walls of the frame instead of the outer edges like most other pistols. That setup lowers the bore axis and gives the gun a naturally flat recoil impulse, which is part of why competitive shooters love it so much. The NZ85B copies that geometry closely, and it carries over the same double-stack magazine capacity, giving shooters a high round count without sacrificing the ergonomics that made the original famous. Where the NZ85B stands out is in a detail a lot of clones skip entirely: the ambidextrous slide release and safety. That feature alone made it appealing to military and police contracts and regions where left-handed shooters needed a gun that didn't force them into an awkward grip. It's a small thing on paper, but it's the kind of detail that shows Norinco wasn't just slapping together a look-alike. They studied why the CZ75 worked so well and built accordingly. Combine that with a price point far below what an actual CZ costs in most markets, and you get a pistol that's earned a quiet but loyal following among shooters who know exactly what they're looking for. Number 1. Norinco CF98 QSZ92. And here's the flagship. The QSZ92 is the standard issue sidearm for the People's Liberation Army, and it's been exported under a couple of different names depending on the market and the generation of the gun. The CF98 was the early export version in 9mm, and later export models added features like an accessory rail and an improved barrel with a longer service life. All of them share the same core design, so think of this less as separate guns and more as one platform that evolves over time into the inversion, making budget Western arms look overpriced on the global market today. Most modern handguns you know, Glocks, SIGs, basically anything Western, use a tilting barrel mechanism to manage recoil. The CF98 does something completely different. It runs a rotating barrel lock system. As the slide cycles back, the barrel rotates to unlock instead of tilting down, and that motion absorbs a huge amount of the recoil torque. The result is a gun that shoots noticeably softer than pistols using the traditional design, something that becomes obvious the moment you put a few magazines through one back-to-back against a typical tilting barrel pistol. There's more going on inside too. The CF98 uses a removable steel chassis tucked inside its polymer grip, a modular design philosophy that lets you essentially swap the gun itself between different grip housings. This concept sounds cutting edge because it is. The SIG only recently made it popular in the West with the P320. Norinco was already doing it, which means the actual serialized part of the firearm is a small metal unit you can drop into different size frames depending on the hand size or roll, exactly the kind of flexibility militaries look for when equipping troops of very different builds. The later export variants took this even further, adding a 15-round staggered magazine, an accessory rail under the barrel for lights or lasers, and an engineered barrel life rated for 10,000 rounds with a reported failure rate under 1 in 1,000 rounds, numbers most premium Western duty guns would be proud to hit. Sure, the factory finish is thin, the sights are about as basic as it gets, usually just simple fixed sights with no fiber optic or night sight options from the factory. But shooters who try this thing out are consistently shocked by how accurate it is, and the single-action trigger breaks lighter and crisper than most people expect from a service pistol. At under $300 in markets where it's legal to own, you're getting mechanical sophistication that Western companies typically reserve for guns costing $800 or more. It just so happens that the one market where you'll never find it sitting on a shelf is the United States, where the import ban has kept this entire platform out of reach since the early 90s, letting it grow and evolve for 30 years without ever having to prove itself against American buyers directly. That's the full list, and it's honestly not close when you break down the engineering behind each of these guns. China's arms industry went from copying designs to competing with them, and in some cases quietly beating them on price and performance both, even if most Americans will never get the chance to hold one. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe to Guns You Can't Live Without.